Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes,
Can I read Mataji?
yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
So it's from gradually.
Mataji, it's that elephant second next paragraph.
Prabhupada compared modern days.
Yes. Prabhupada compared modern day Indian civilization to a dead elephant. An elephant is such a valuable creature that even when dead, because of its tusks and hide, it remains almost as valuable as when alive and working. Similarly, although the Indian culture was practically dead, India still had a great potential. Most Indians in the villages still retained a simple faith that their present suffering was due to karma of their past lives and they would have to transmigrate to another body in their next life. That basic transcendental knowledge, commonly understood by the Indian masses, was unknown in the West even to the most sophisticated and advanced members of the society. But Prabhupada was sorry to see the Indians in the West abandoning their piety and taking the cheap life of self-gratification. He compared the Indian immigrants to the new crows. When crows eat garbage, after a while they are full. But if a new crow arrives, he becomes especially eager. Similarly, many Indians newly arrived in the West were more eager for material advancement than the Westerners. Yet, despite Prabhupada's criticism of Indians, whenever he met anyone of Indian birth in the temple, in his room, or elsewhere, he seemed to become especially sympathetic and friendly, conversing with them in Hindi or Bengali, as if talking with old familiar friends. Janardana was concerned about presenting Krishna consciousness to Montreal's main religious contingent, the Catholics. Because he came from a French-Canadian Catholic family, Janardana thought Prabhupada and his disciples should learn to present Krishna consciousness in terms of biblical teachings. It was possible, Prabhupada agreed, but it would require great expertise. It would be better, he said, to stress the universal non-sectarian nature of Krishna consciousness. Christianity, Hinduism, Islam, and all other religions had some idea of God, though not much realization of pure love for God. Krishna consciousness, however, was like a postgraduate study for persons of all religions. Prabhupada requested his disciples not to divert their attention to criticizing the Christian or any other sectarian faith. Rather, they should simply preach Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. When Shivananda and Nanda Kishore brought an Indian Christian to Prabhupada's apartment, Prabhupada demonstrated the art of preaching to a committed follower of a sectarian religious faith. We don't say you have to be this religion or that, Prabhupada told the man. The real test of religion is how one is awakening his dormant love for God. Prabhupada went on, without attacking the man's religious affiliation, to describe the degradation of Kali Yuga. At the present moment, he said, never mind whether one is a Christian, Hindu, Jew or Muslim, most people are godless and don't care for God. They simply take an official stand. But actually in the depth of their heart, they have no idea what God is. Sorry. Yeah. In the depth of their heart, they have no idea what God is. If a Christian believes in God, let him love God more prominently than matter. The man agreed. Janardana took Prabhupada to see some of the great cathedrals in Montreal. Entering the spacious Notre Dame, Prabhupada said, yes, this is worship of God as Lord Narayana, in awe and reverence. The church tour impressed Srila Prabhupada, and the next day he revealed his thoughts in a letter to Aniruddha. Hare Krishna Mataji, I'll stop here. Thank you.
Anyone wants to continue from here?
Hare Krishna, Mataji, can I go?
Yes.
Yesterday, Janardana took me to a nice church. He called, what is that name, Mataji? What is that name, Mataji? Can
Not
you tell?
Dane.
Okay, not Dane. A very nice wooden structural workmanship with a colorful figures and windows, decorated with nicely painted pictures of crucifixion of Lord Jesus Christ. Everything was what is this word, Mataji? Hare Krishna, Preethi, Vilasini, Mataji, please help me. Generally the Mataji, it's gone. Generally the Roman, these hard words are hard, Mataji. What is this word, Mataji?
Catholic.
Catholic religion depends on this crucifixion incident in the life of Lord Jesus Christ, but I think the depreciation of this incident simply stimulates the tension of difference of opinion and incident of Lord Jesus Christ. The Roman Catholic religion can be spread to such a wide area of the world, how much there is great potential of spreading our Krishna consciousness. But despite many hundreds and thousands of such incidents in different appearance of the incarnation of Lord Krishna, Prabhupada and Janardana visited another church which displays the relics of saint who had been adapted walking through the exhibits of the saints clothing, desk, bed and personal effects. Prabhupada was unimpressed. Just see, he said, they are doing him for healing bodies that are now dead, but they are not taking interest in healing of a soul in his eternal situation. Question about Christian and the Bible often arose after Prabhupada's class in the temple. One night, Prabhupada explained that even the most learned man studies in terms of body only. Although a person may have many PhDs and may be talking philosophy, when he is asked, "Do you know what is soul?" he will stop. A man raised his hand, and I have here a Holy Bible. He began, yes, Prabhupada acknowledged. So the Holy Bible is also written by Holy Script, Spirit of mankind. Should we believe in the Bible or not? You can say it is written by mankind, but so far I know those who wrote with revolution. The Holy Spirit. Yes, Prabhupada said, therefore you should read. Otherwise, if man writes a book on his own, he will write on his own experience and it will be imperfect. You are speaking about a man only knowing the body. What about the body of Christ? Body of the Christ is not an ordinary body. Prabhupada said it is a spiritual body. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sambhavamya Atma Mayaya. So this is very subtle point. One has to understand that when God comes, or God's son comes, or God's representative comes, they do not accept a body like us. They have their spiritual body. Krishna means Chris. The man replied, he is the whole spirit. So we are also in the body of man. That is the body of God. No, Prabhupada replied, the body of man is not exactly the body of God. With God, there is no difference between the body and the soul, because he is all spiritual. Just like if you have a golden body and golden soul, then there is no difference between the soul and the body. But in our case, as we are spirit soul, but the body is material. Therefore I am different from this body, but when we are liberated, we get spiritual body like Krishna's. At the present moment, there is a difference between our body and soul. Therefore, as soon as the soul goes away from the body, the body begin matter. Dust throw art, dust throw beast mix with the matter, and the soul takes another body. The whole problem is that we have to stop repetition of migration from one material body to another material body. That is the highest perfection of life. During Prabhupada's stay in Montreal, Janardana showed him several news items concerning the what is this, Mataji? Paul? Mataji?
Pope Paul VI, Mataji.
Pope Paul VI. The Pope was sternly supporting the Catholics' stand against the abortion. Despite a large protest movement within the church, Prabhupada admired the people of upholding the scriptures. Even though millions of Catholics did not, he decided to write him. He had tried such a thing before, writing to Gandhi and writing to Nehru, and in the same spirit, he decided to he dedicated a letter one morning and sent it to what is this word, Mataji?
Sorry, one morning.
This one.
Vatican.
Yeah, Mataji, I would like to stop here. Thank you, Mataji. Please forgive me for all the mistakes.
Thank you, Vinaya Mataji, for the very beautiful reading. Thank you so much for reading nicely. Anyone wants to continue from here? Okay. Anjana Gopika Mataji, Kaumudiki Mataji, do you want to continue? Okay, then I will continue. See appendix for full text of Srila Prabhupada's letter to Pope Paul VI. In his letter, Srila Prabhupada explained his personal background and mission. Then he defined love of God as it is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam and stated that human life is especially meant for learning to love God. Noting that people were mostly interested in sense gratification, Prabhupada remarked, this tendency is very much deteriorating. Because your holiness is the head of a great religious sect, I think we should meet together and chalk out a program for cooperation. Prabhupada went on to describe some of the symptoms of society as degradation, including the pro-abortion movement within the Catholic faith. I understand it from reliable sources, Prabhupada wrote, that people are trying to get your holiness's sanction for contraceptive method, which is certainly against any religion of the world. In the Hindu tradition, such contraceptive method or abortion is considered equivalent to murder. Prabhupada said the same degradation was affecting India, and he suggested that the guardians of society treat the situation as a very serious one. Prabhupada closed his letter. If you think that a meeting with you will be beneficial for the human society at large, I shall be very much pleased if your holiness will grant me an interview. Janardhana mixed with the many liberal academic religionists interested in ecumenical aspects of religion, and he wanted to introduce Prabhupada to these scholars of various faiths. He arranged a private get-together at a close friend's house, and Prabhupada very willingly went and spoke about Krishna consciousness. The next day he summarized his experience in a letter to Satsvarupa. Yes, I am getting good opportunities to meet several learned scholars. Last night, we had a meeting in Abdul Rabbi, and there were some university professors and a Dr. Abbott, a Dr. Macmillan, and many others. 2 clergymen were there with their wives. One Father Landlife was without a wife. So there was a very good discussion, and by the grace of Krishna, I was able to give them some impression of this philosophy, and it is nicer than anything. Professor Abdul is a Mohammedan, and he is writing a thesis of Sufi religion, and he was also impressed. Unfortunately, I had to eat there, but I accepted only a little fruits, while they were eating all sorts of nonsense, but at least they did not drink. We were the only 2 persons, Janardhan and myself, who were avoiding all kinds of nonsense. Prabhupada attended a few more formal ecumenical meeting of a religious conference. About 50 people, including Prabhupada and a group of his devotees, attended. A panel representing various religions honored Prabhupada as the main speaker as well as the member of the panel. Prabhupada lectured, and after the lecture, a Catholic priest asked how Prabhupada could be so sure of his statements about God. Why not? Prabhupada said, what is the difficulty? I have the consciousness, there is God. Now I have forgotten him. I have to revive my consciousness of God. What is the difficulty in knowing that much? The questioners were not his submissive young disciples, and this was not Prabhupada relaxed and sitting back on a pillow in his room. He was alert, logical, and very sociable. But some of the panel were not satisfied with his presentation. The moderator took up their cause. Moderator, are you saying that you are perfect? Prabhupada, I am imperfect, that's all right. But I know what is perfection. Moderator, but I cannot see that. Prabhupada's disciples laughed at this, and Prabhupada turned to reprimand them. Don't laugh. Then returning to his debate with the moderator, therefore you are here. You have to go to London. If you have purchased a ticket for London, and if you have gotten into the airplane, so even if you have not gone to London, you are sure that you are going to London. Moderator, yes, I can be sure. I understand that. I have no doubt about that. But how can your security, Prabhupada? No. If I have understood that my destination is London, I feel secure and I'm going to London, then that is my happiness. Moderator, so you're completely happy? Prabhupada, yes, because I know that if I go to London, I'm going there. Moderator, but you're not in London yet. Prabhupada, that's all right. Prabhupada raised his voice confidently. I have already told you that when you purchase a ticket and you understand that you're surely going to London, that is happiness. Moderator, but then there is no question. Prabhupada, but what is this? If my destination is London, then why question? There is no need to question. Moderator, well, then why a conference with men of other religions? The other panel members listened intently as the moderator pursued a line of argument. Many of them empathized with him. They wanted to see Prabhupada defeated. Prabhupada, that conference is used to consult together that London is the destination. Moderator, but then you know the destination. Prabhupada, right? Moderator, the idea that you have behind your mind is to tell other people where the destination is. Prabhupada, yes. Moderator, not to search for it with them. Prabhupada, no, I didn't say search. I have already searched it out. Moderator, yeah, so then I feel myself that this is not a conference. Prabhupada, then I have got some good news to tell you. It is not a conference. Prabhupada decided, okay. Then then I have got some good news to tell you. It is not conference. It's not conference. Prabhupada's disciples burst out in a laughter despite themselves. This time Prabhupada did not check them. He was too busy, too alert with the debate as several persons started talking at once. Panel member, as far as you are concerned, it may be London. As far as I am concerned, it may be Paris or Hawaii. Prabhupada, no. Then we have to consider where is real happiness, whether it is in Hawaii or it is in Paris. Moderator, but if you are not willing to concede, the moderator could not help becoming accusative in a tone that it is not London, and if I say I'm not going to that place. Prabhupada, that is going on. There are innumerable planets. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Yanti Deva Vrata Devan Pitrin Yantri Pitrivrata. So if you think that London is not good for you, Paris is good for you, then it is good for you. Another panel member with German accent. Well, therefore, conference is all useless. Prabhupada, no. If you don't agree, if you do not understand what is the highest goal, then conference is useless. If you keep yourself to the understanding where you are, then there is no need for conference. Several persons, some on the panel and some even in the audience, began to speak at once in protest of Prabhupada's remarks. Prabhupada, that is conference. I want to convince you that London is the real place of happiness. Moderator, but I think that I know better than you. Prabhupada, you may think, but you have to be convinced that your thinking is wrong. Moderator, or maybe I can convince you your thinking is wrong. Prabhupada, that's all right. Therefore, conference is required. Prabhupada began to laugh. Finally, everyone laughed, and the tension that had been building into animosity relaxed. But the formal order of the conference had been lost, and now everyone began to speak at once. Moderator, excuse me, Swamiji, but the time is running out. Prabhupada, yes, moderator, and I would like to thank you very much for coming. Prabhupada, now you're convinced that the conference is required? Moderator, yes. Prabhupada, you have to convince me and I will convince you. Moderator, and I think that's true. These confrontations, these listenings lead to further understanding. The program ended and the crowd began dispersing, talking among themselves, moving out into the summer evening. The moderator, still intellectually piqued by Prabhupada's brand of ecumenicity, approached Prabhupada, aimed the crowd moving forward the exit. I think I'll stop here. Others can read. Hare Krishna. Gopika Mataji, Kaumudiki Mataji, would you like to read?
Yes, can I read?
Yes.
Okay. The question is, the young minister, I don't know, before it wasn't working, now it's working. The phone is, okay. The question is, the young minister pursued, where should we go if you believe that you must go to London? Yet I believe very strongly I must go to India. And I am convinced that, at least for me, India is wonderful. The Prabhupada said, no, if you are convinced that going to India is good for you, so similarly you must accept that going to London is also nice. Minister said, yes, but may you also be convinced that India is better than London? Prabhupada said, yes, if you can convince me. Minister said, but if you believe that you cannot be convinced. Prabhupada said, no, you can convince if we are reasonable. Minister said, but then we have to search together to become complete. Prabhupada said, no, my version is complete. Minister said, then I cannot convince you of anything. Prabhupada said, no, why not? You have got reason. I have got reason. You have to show me that there are favorable conditions in Paris or India. Minister said, but how can I convince you because you say that you cannot? Prabhupada said, no. Convince means you have to convince me with your reasoning power of presentation. Okay, I will stop here, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Shall I read, Mataji?
Yes, please go ahead, Mataji.
Mataji, should we start August 1968?
Yes.
Srila Prabhupada was in his room with his several devotees. Prabhupada. Shivananda asked, yes. May I go to England? Shivananda had asked once before. Prabhupada had told him to know that he should stay in Montreal and help. He was only 20 and his desire to go seemed to be mostly restlessness. He was sincere but inexperienced. But now he was asking again and it was timely. My mother will give me money for the trip. Shivananda continued. He said, it will be all right as long as I go back to college after opening a temple there. Prabhupada nodded. Yes, that is all right. You can go. You are sincere, but be careful. I was an old Calcutta boy, and so when I came to New York, I never got cheated. Can you little bit go ahead, Mataji? Prabhupada Special Master Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati had wanted to spread Krishna consciousness in Europe. He had spent his most experienced sannyasis giving them financial support from India, but they had returned, accomplishing nothing. Perhaps these boys and girls could succeed where others had failed. Prabhupada felt it was possible. He knew it would greatly please Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. Prabhupada had faith that his disciples would be able to establish something in Europe, just as they had gone in America. He gave the example that if someone finds a gourd lying on the road and picks it up and finds a wire and picks that up, although the two parts are in themselves useless. If he put them together to make a veena, he could play beautiful music. Similarly, Prabhupada had come and found some hippies lying here and there, and he himself had been rejected by the people in New York City, but by Krishna's grace it had become a successful combination. If his disciples remained sincere and followed his order, then they would be successful in Europe. When the three married couple, Mukunda and Janaki, Syamasundar and Malati, and Gurudas and Amuna, arrived in Montreal, they created a new enthusiasm in the temple. These three couples had begun the temple in San Francisco and had close association with Prabhupada. They had helped. They had helped Prabhupada make Kirtana, feasting, and Rath Yatra successful among the hippies of Height Asbury. Now they were eager to help Prabhupada bring Krishna consciousness to London. It was an emotional reunion. Janaki began crying, and Prabhupada patted her head, saying, there is no need. When Prabhupada saw Saraswati, Syamasundar and Malati's daughter, he said, I dreamed of that child last night, the exact child, and he took the baby in his arms and gave her his garland. Prabhupada laughed, and they will say, what kind of sannyasi is he? Prabhupada wanted these three couples to stay with him for a week or two so that he could train them to perform Kirtana very expertly. Of course, chanting Hare Krishna was not at all theoretical performance. It was art of devotion. In fact, it may only be properly done by pure devotees, not by professional musicians. If the disciple could learn the standard tones and practice singing together, learners would better appreciate Krishna consciousness. Mataji. Mataji, okay, I will stop Mataji.
Mataji, where did you stop?
1 second, Mataji. Prabhupada, Mataji wanted to teach London. Yeah. From there, next week, somebody wants to read. Prabhupada is London bound disciple to sing, Mataji.
Prabhupada wanted to teach London?
You this one. Yeah, that one.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you very much. So, is there anyone else who wants to read? Okay. Then I think we can go with realizations. I think everyone can share realizations. Vinaya Mataji, Lalitangi Mataji, Kamodiki Mataji, Anjana Gopika Mataji, please, if you can if you would like to share your realizations. Go ahead.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji, I would have to log off after 5 minutes.
Okay.
So this argument is so good that, the panel and the moderators and how Prabhupada is brave in presenting. At the same time, they are thinking that he's defeating them. He's very closely following in their argument and defeating them, and at the same time, establishing his point that how he doesn't need to search the truth, but he already knows the truth and he has a reason, and he's come here to convince them. So that's a very beautiful line of argument. I thought we should read that again and again, how nicely Prabhupada says this. And that's the point I would like to share, and how he is concerned about his disciples. And then his the example that he has been rejected by the New York City, and society has hippies are like rejected people of the society, but both of them combined and they are making a nice veena. So that was a very brilliant example of how what a vision Prabhupada has. That's amazing. Yeah, thank you, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, very, very true. Thank you so much for sharing, Lalitangi Radha Mataji. Thank you so much. Anjana Gopika and Kamodika.
Mataji, I think just Mataji was pointing out, I was thinking pure devotee, they can use everything in the Krishna service, yes. Even though it looked like they were hippies, and then only Prabhupada can convert them, and then he was also telling how he was teaching that devotion, and then he wanted to train little bit through these couples. He knew that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati would be very happy if they go, and he has a confidence also, because they were very sincere. If you are sincere, and then if you follow what Prabhupada said, and then they will be successful. That was the very nice point, Mataji. And then Prabhupada had a full faith, because all the devotees, disciples that time, they were very sincere. Already Samasundar and Malati Mataji, they started the center in California, and Prabhupada had so much of faith to them, and he wanted to teach little with them. And that combination is only pure devotee can. I think he knows how to best use from the bad bargain, what it called. Yeah, that was I was thinking, Mataji. And also that argument thing, even though Prabhupada was so boldly preaching, it does not matter for him, because it will give so much of reason and confidence to the later devotee. When we read this conversation, we can be convinced by Prabhupada. It does not matter that time somebody convinced or not, but whoever read Prabhupada Lilamrta or Prabhupada book, they will be convinced. I was thinking, Mataji.
Thank you, Anjana Govika Mataji. That was so sweet. Yes, Mataji. Very, very true. Anyone will be convinced. Thank you, Mataji. Vinaya Mataji, Kamodaki Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. I can share, Mataji. A very nice reading, Mataji. Already Lalitangi Mataji and Anjana Gopika Mataji shared very nice realization. Everything, the discussion about the Bible, how Bible and everything is also telling about God consciousness, but it is not so clear. But our Krishna consciousness is not that we just, fight against those religion, not like that, but to put our own point, not to go, to make this is wrong, this is not our goal. That's our goal is like whatever our scripture is saying, to say that. That's what I really liked it when Prabhupada was speaking about that. And then again Prabhupada was telling about how differences between the super like Krishna and Supreme Personality of Godhead and us. Like he was telling, there is no differences between the soul and body for Krishna, but for us it is a difference because our body is made of material, matter. So he was also explaining that, and he was also telling about how Jesus Christ was not an ordinary person because he was representative of the God. When these people comes, they are because they are a representative of the God, they can change the people's mind, and they can bring people into Krishna conscious, God consciousness. That Prabhupada was telling. So again, Prabhupada was talking about Yeah, Mataji, and Prabhupada was made the discussion between that moderator and Prabhupada was very, very nice. How Prabhupada was basically telling that if we have the ticket for London, we will just reach to the London. That discussion was very, very nice, Mataji, as Laltangi Mataji was also telling. He was also telling, why don't we go to other places? Then he was telling about innumerable things, like places that we can go. If you desire to go, where innumerable planets are there as described in Bhagavad Gita. So if you desire to go to that place, then you can go. But the destination is the London. Like when you buy the ticket, that is the real happiness. That's Prabhupada was like, he's just not at all like trying. Other persons are trying to make disturb Prabhupada with so many other questions, controversial questions, but Prabhupada was not at all going down to his words. That really was very nice, how Prabhupada could convince everybody with his strong argument. And again, here we can see how the disciples are going all over the world and trying to preach Krishna consciousness. How because of Prabhupada's blessings, even though we are not qualified, they are not qualified or anything. For the people in general, it look like they're normal, like they are like hippies or anything. But still, because of spiritual master's blessing, they could do that. And Prabhupada himself was was so happy that he is telling that my spiritual master will be so happy that you people are going and preaching all over the world, which is really very, very happy. That makes me happy. Like Prabhupada was expressing that, it was so nice that we can see that Prabhupada himself has so much empowerment from Krishna, and he could change everybody. But not only he, because of his blessings, because of his association, even his disciples can do it. So that I could really understand that how very much important for us to have the association of pure devotees and blessings of our Guru. When if we have that, we can definitely fulfill our Guru's desire, try to fulfill our achievements in our spiritual journey. That is really very nice. And how Prabhupada was trying to teach each and every small thing to his disciples, like doing bhajan and everything. That all points, like he was like so much concerned that they should be very well versed with everything, so that if they are presenting in front of a new person, it will be attracted to many people. So Prabhupada was very concerned about all those things. We could see that how he was very much interested to teach the couples kirtan and everything, so that they can preach very nicely. And in the beginning, we can see that Prabhupada was telling about the India, how India is like a dead elephant. Even though that dead elephant, but still it is useful. Like even though the culture is going away, but still because of the India thing, still the people are in the villages. They are thinking that this is not the life, the karma, we should get out of this life, like that. So and then again there was one discussion, I think they were telling, like Prabhupada was talking about the Indians, and I think one of the devotee was talking, I don't know who was talking there, I forgot the name. He was telling that even though Prabhupada used to say that India is going away from the culture, but whenever he sees the Indians, he used to get very affectionate to them, and he used to talk with them in Bengali or Hindi, like that. So that one point also, like, because Prabhupada was very concerned about each and every person, and he was like thinking everybody should become Krishna consciousness. That was very much to his heart. That's what I understood, Mataji, from reading today. Please forgive me if I committed any mistake. Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinaya Mataji. Today you took the role of Supriya Mataji and you summarized the entire thing very beautifully. Thank you so much. It was wonderful. Thanks for the realization.
Thank you, Mataji. Please forgive me for all my mistakes. Hare Krishna.
Kaumodaki Mataji. Okay, so I just want to second all of you. I think I'm just going to repeat whatever all of you said. One thing that I really liked is about how, was the first point about the elephant. How the elephant, even after its death, it's very useful. Similarly, Indian culture, though it is dying, there is so much to receive from it. There is so much to unearth from it. So that was very, very nice. And of course, the conversation, how Prabhupada dealt with them. I was just thinking, for him, he was trying, Prabhupada was looking at it in terms of these debates that they do in India among great scholars. When great scholars get together, scholars, different proponents of different philosophies, we read in history that in India, when they get together, this is how they debate. They debate like this. They put forth their point, then the other person puts forth their point, and then they try to, if you have to accept what I'm saying, if you cannot defeat what I'm saying, it's like that. So Prabhupada was trying to do that, there are different types of vada, vitarka, like that, right, in India. So Prabhupada was employing a similar style, and he was literally teaching them how to debate. Actually, that's how I felt the debate was. I really liked that part of the debate part, and I also liked this sentence that Prabhupada had faith that his disciples would be able to establish something in Europe, just as they had done in America. He gave the example that if someone finds a gourd lying on the road and picks it up and finds a wire and picks that up, although two parts are in themselves useless, he puts them together to make a veena. He could play a beautiful music. Similarly, Prabhupada had come and he found some hippies lying here and there, and he himself had been rejected by the people in New York City, but by Krishna's grace, it had become a successful combination. If his disciples remained sincere and followed his orders, then they would be successful in Europe. I really like that analogy very much. Thank you all, Mataji. Thank you. Kamadaki Mataji, do you want to say something?
Yes, Mataji, I was saying, but I was saying on a mute. So,
Hari bol. Please go ahead, Mataji.
That moderator, he was not agreeing with Prabhupada. Then there has to be conference. Is that what the word was? Yeah. Then he was saying, there is no conference. Prabhupada said conference is required. And Prabhupada laughed, but the moderator said, time is running out. There is no need for conference. But then, actually, then later on, Prabhupada convinced him that yes, then are you now convinced that we should have a conference? Then moderator agrees, yes, we should have a conference. And also, the minister, they were talking about, another joke, that going, what is it, London. Yeah, Prabhupada said that London is so nice. The minister said, India is better than London. Prabhupada said, yes, if you can convince me. So he wanted to be convinced by minister. But then minister, he was sure that Prabhupada was not going to be convinced. So then Prabhupada said, no, you can convince if we are reasonable. So then that's what Prabhupada said, that you have to convince by reasons. And what is the last one he said? The reasoning power of presentation. That's how we can convince. That's where I am.
Very nice. Yes, Mataji. It was a very beautiful reading. Thank you.
So, it's very nice, Prabhupada.
Yeah.
If it is in any way.
Yeah.
So finally, he laughs. So then we should have conference.
Yeah. Finally he laughed and he lightened it.
So it was so much. Everybody became then it was kind of relaxing. He laughed. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mataji. So thank you all so much for joining. And if no one wants to say anything else, you can end the call. Patarubhyascha kripā sindhubhyaiva ca patitānaṁ pāvanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय, नामाचार्य श्रीला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद लीलामृता की जय. All glories to the assembled devotees. Thank you all so much. We miss Supriya very much today. So we will join us next week.
I wish Preethi Vilasini Mataji ki jai.
No,
thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
But you did very good. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.